Welcome to my own swing analysis. You can see the front from the top and the back view from the bottom. Now this is done 6 months ago, approximately 6 months ago at Bali Handara Golf Resort up in the beautiful mountain of Bedugul. Now this is let's look at my top part of my swing. I'm going to be very critical. There are a couple of things that I'm working on right just before the shutdown. Okay, let's look at the top part of the swing. You can see my head position, my hip position. Set up a little lead shaft right there on the club and hands. Now let's take my backswing back. I like to have a one-piece takeaway, as you can see the triangle in my body. Okay, taking away. You can see all left arm maintaining straight, and I start to hinge about this angle right here. Same thing at the bottom. See my one piece takeaway. Okay, I tend to take in a little bit under the line. Like I said, I'm not worried about that because it's the downswing consistency of my downswing that's most important. So you can see right there. Okay, instead of pointing at the target, I'm pointing a little bit more towards the right at parallel ground. So I've always been a little bit more inside instead of on that red line right there. Okay, now let's take it back a few more frames. Go. Maintaining my left arm as straight as I can, maintaining the width. Okay, this is where you can see my head turns together right here. Okay, in order for me to get a little bit more rotation, I don't feel so tight. Instead of pre-setting the head, I turn together with my shoulders a little bit, so it looks like I'm turning away from the target. Now the top part here, okay, you can see my arms. You can still see my grip at the top part of my swing, and down here you can see my arms. Okay, my elbows are there. Elbows still got some gap over there. I don't want to get too tight. Don't want to have that short little arm position. So my right hand could not fire on the way down. I need a very powerful position right there. You can see my club position. I don't hit hinge a lot. It's enough right there. Okay, it's good enough. Don't need to go all the way parallel that most people think the swing is. Of course, you don't need to go that far, but it's how I come down is most important. Right, that's how I load on the way down. Okay, notice my hips. My hip starts to shift. Something that I like to work on more, which is my head. Then the slide a little bit, not much right there. Okay, I like to keep it behind that red line. I'm pretty close. Okay, but my hips very actively going forward on the way down. Okay, you can see the bottom part right here. Okay, my hips are actively loading in. Okay, at the same time, my hands are very passive and I load more on that wrist work. See that wrist work right there? Okay, that's where I get more hinge on the way down instead of the top of the swing. Okay, now while I come down, you can see both now very active on the hips, shifting forward, trying to keep my head in the same position. Okay, and there we go. You can look at the bottom part right here. Club's coming down pretty close to that red line right there. Right on that red line. See that hinge roll? Still holding on. Start to release. You can see the club starts to bend. Okay, that's where my release starts. And clipping the ball clean. You can see right here the impact. Okay, you don't see any divot at all because I'm just about to compress the ball first. Very clear that I caught the ball first right there. That's after impact already. That's where the divot starts right here. There we go. So again, ball and divot. Okay, ball and divot right through. That's what you want. Ball and divot. You can see my arms are all stretched, all straightened as well through impact. Okay, right there. Hip starts to shift. You can see the gap right here. And At this point, you can see my arm at the bottom here. Don't get stuck. Okay, see a big gap right here. Remember I talked about Matthew Wolf's as well at impact. You can see a gap right between my hands and my body, and not like feel it getting stuck. Start to rotate. My club face pointing at the target. And my arms are completely all stretched out right there. Okay, and I'm swinging at a very fast speed. It's a split second. You can see my head starts to turn to follow the ball up instead of keeping it down. Okay, I'm turning, but I'm not lifting up. I'm still maintaining between that red line right there. Okay, that's the key to a split second. Right there. Something that I like to work on is my left knee. That's where my power I can increase more. I'm straightening it, but a bit too late on the way through. Irons, I'm quiet, okay, which is fine. I've got more control, okay, but I can straighten up a little bit more on the irons, and I can straighten a lot more with my driver, which I show you in the next video. Right here. Watching the ball up, and my club's coming up from my left shoulder. I'm swinging from my right shoulder to my left shoulder, so it's on that same path at the top and on the same path on the way through. That's where I want to get. All right, okay, that's my iron review analysis.